Oh, you want to punch it?
This kind of things really happen for a reason. Everything is a mirror. I just didn't want to leave, you know.
Absolutely.
And we are
Absolutely.
live. We are live.
Fantastico.
I'm just gonna give it a few seconds to see if someone will show up, because I know there was few people interested in today's topic of plant medicine. We have so many interesting facts and stories to share. Yes, we have people coming in. Good evening, and as always, after a long break, it is my pleasure to welcome my dear friend Eddie BenAbraham from Los Angeles and my platform as my guest. Hello, Eddie.
Hello, beautiful sister. Thank you for
Hello.
having me. What an honor and pleasure, love. Thank you.
Always, always. And today I am really excited to have Eddie because we will be sharing some facts and experiences about plant medicine journey that I personally had a chance to experience while my last visit to LA, where I had the chance to meet Eddie in person as well.
Finally, after what, 2 years?
Finally, finally, after harassing you for so many years, Eddie, I was
So,
harassing you.
for all you out there, anybody who has friends on Facebook, make the effort and go out there, meet the people you have been in contact with. It's beautiful. What a marvelous, marvelous young lady, Dominika. It was an honor. Truly an
It,
honor to meet you.
it was the first meeting, but I'm sure one of many.
Definitely, I have no doubt.
Definitely. There is this specific energy, you know, when you meet your tribe, and there is this lightness and this knowing that we knew each other for so many lifetimes. And
Yeah,
it was, to me, it was obvious. It was like I know you forever.
absolutely.
So yeah, I just wanted to start this video today, this broadcast today, by highlighting that we are not here um, to encourage everyone and say that everyone should be taking the plant medicine. Quite the opposite. We want to make you more aware with some facts when and why you should take the medicine, which is called the medicine, and it truly is. It's a medicine for your soul. Eddie has a great knowledge about that. He's experienced, and he actually was preparing me for that. He first offered me the plant medicine journey over 2 years ago, but at that time, I was maybe only 2 years into my spiritual growth, into my healing, and my inner voice basically said no. I was very aware of my inner energetic dynamics, and I knew that this is not the time for me. But this time, after those over 2 years, I felt this is the right time for me, because I felt that I worked through so much, and my awareness about the human design and how am I working, how am I constructed was so good that the plant medicine journey will be a great addition. It was a big yes from my soul. It was a big yes. I felt so safe. And knowing that also Eddie will prepare me and explain everything to me. So I guess to feel safe is one of the main priorities before you take the plant medicines. And there is obviously a lot of other factors that should be looked after, like you shouldn't be doing that on your own. Your room should be specifically prepared. There's a specific music that should be played, but I'm going to give the voice to Eddie now, and I will let you, Eddie, speak and guide us through this process. And after that, I'm going to ask you some more questions.
So, absolutely, with what you said, it's not for everyone.
Mhm.
Meaning, you have to be ready for it. Um, Age, first of all, ready to go. Um,
So, what's the age?
I have witnessed as young as 16.
Hmm.
I'm sure that younger have done so, but then again, depending on what their state of being is, and of course, parental guidance and presence, and parents also had to have the experience themselves.
Hmm.
So we are not doctors. What we're about to say in this video, we're not,
Yeah, the
we're not
disclaimer.
here to tell you how to heal, where to heal. This is all about you and your discernment, and accept the knowledge based on your own intuition and your decision. So when you see a lot of people talk about plant medicine, it could be anywhere from psilocybin mushrooms, it could be any heart medicine like um, white lily, which is very heart directed, ayahuasca, and there are many more out there. Some coming from Africa, some coming from Asia, some coming from South America. Each indigenous um, tribe that have used and implemented the powers and the gifts of plant medicine for many years, for thousands of years, have had their own type of medicine that they've used and cultivated to heal their own people and and do what it does. So when we say you have to be ready, it is a matter of timing, or it could be something that you will never use. You might hear about it. You may, know somebody. It could be your partner that have done it. It doesn't mean that you have to have it.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you have to experience it. And there are a few layers to this in terms of what the benefits are. First and foremost, it's expansion of awareness, becoming aware of things internally, because it is a journey. This is not a party thing. In
Mhm.
other words, this is not, you go into the desert, there's music, and you take mushrooms and you start dancing. No, this is an
Mhm.
internal journey. There's a process to it where um, you surrender, you submit to the wisdom of the plant medicine because it is wise. It works with your higher self. It works with your soul. It works with your connection, ancestors,
It
angels.
has
Everybody's there to support
consciousness.
you.
Yeah, it has consciousness basically.
It has tremendous consciousness.
Mhm.
Consciousness.
Why, Eddie?
Consciousness. And so one is awareness.
Mhm.
Expanding the awareness about yourself. And if you are there to experience something beyond of the self, they'll show you. If it has to do with the planet, has to do with timelines, has to do with potentials, has to do with Earth, has to do with uh, our family of Earth. It could be anything. And then healing emotionally, energetically, psychologically. I've seen a lot of beautiful things happen.
Mhm.
And some journeys are very smooth, depending. Okay, let's back it up a little bit. So when you go into a journey, when you choose to go into a journey, it's very important to know what it is with the medicine that you're taking, and who is the facilitator, who is your shaman, who is the one that's going to be taking care of you, and who is going to be providing you with that journey, offering you the journey, in what space, what type of space, and again, test with your heart, test with your intuition. Is this something that feels good to me?
Mhm.
Is this okay? So the discernment there is 100% a must by you, not by having anybody forcing you to do it or peer pressure. There's a trend. It's very trendy now. Oh, I've done ayahuasca. I've done 50 times this year. Stay away from this stuff,
Mhm.
please. Stay away from it because it's irrelevant. Has nothing to do with what other people are doing. Has to do with only you. And each one of us have our own unique, special journey. No way around it. Even if you and your partner living for 30 years in the same house, you each have your own journey. Although there is a relationship to the journey, but each one of you have your own journey. One may go and do it, the other one will say no, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
It's perfectly aligned to what you need and what you desire. Um, so we spoke about the awareness, expanding the awareness, healing properties, and learning. Excuse me, learning. Learning is a huge thing here. You learn so many things about yourself and the world.
Yeah.
And there is another one, which I think is the biggest one, and that is to open your heart.
Mhm.
My course, 9 weeks course, takes you there without the plant medicine, but the heart medicine offers you the opportunity to open your heart in a big way, in a different form, in a different method, in different um, with different tools, whatever that intelligence brings you.
Mhm.
So, having said that, when you open your heart, your life changes tremendously. Your reality changes, synchronicities change. Um, Power of creating your reality, consciously creating your reality. There's a lot of things. And again, this I'm saying this, but there's a journey to all of this. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen right away. Each medicine you take has a different property and a different length of time in terms of how you work through it and with it. So, for example, if you take ayahuasca, for example, think of it as a wave that you're surfing in the ocean. There's maybe just a big wave and it's going to come short and it's going to end within 2, 3 months, or there's one that's going to continue for 6 months. And what do I mean by continuing 6 months or 3 months? It doesn't mean that you're still in that place of journey as you had over the few hours that you've done it, but things come to surface. You all of a sudden remember something, you feel something, something's going on, something you're processing. It could be an emotional aspect, it could be a anger, it could be fear, it could be sadness, it could be something, and then identifying what it is, and then you untangle it, you solve it, you resolve it, you find a solution to heal this within you. So again, we're going back to awareness. You become
Mhm.
aware of things. And this is where the key element is awareness. Expansive awareness is key. I said this many times.
Mhm.
You expand your awareness to places you haven't been to yet. And with your consciousness, which is the most powerful thing, powerful consciousness is king. You're able to transmute, you're able to shift, you're able to create, you're able to do whatever you desire. We are so, so powerful.
Yeah.
I speak about the soul's mantra grid. It's the one thing that hasn't been talked about for thousands of years. It is this the tool is the system that basically describes and basically embeds your soul piece into your body. It's another system, just like the Akashic record, the gravity, Earth, everything else, astrology. The size of it is about the size of a football field, which is huge. So just think about the size of this thing that puts you into the body, makes life available, you know, uh, possible for you in the body as a soul piece. So that's pretty much it, unless there's more. Any
Yeah,
questions?
I think I would like to add from this one experience that I had that the experience actually was also crucial to me because once you are on the spiritual journey and once you are unveiling this truth about how it really works, how realities works, that we are all interconnected, that we are all one, that we are God. It's a one thing to constantly repeating that, affirming that, even the mantra I am, when you are meditating and you are affirming the I am, it is completely different when you are actually experiencing that while being in a body, and this complete you are it, you are in it, you are experiencing everything as it is, and the shift in your perspective in the awareness during the experience is so profound that something that normally would take you months if not years to reprogram your brain, because you are actually experiencing that and you are feeling that so deeply, it immediately rewires the programs that are running in your conscious and subconscious mind. That was, to me, that was the most profound part of it, plus many others, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Eddie, tell me about your own experiences with plant medicine, and I'm going to share mine as well later.
I was first introduced to plant medicine in 2018, and I started with ayahuasca, and then in addition to that, there were more from 2018. It just continued. Um, Several ceremonies um, with a what I call my tribe. So we somehow maintain this uh, um, this connection between everybody. The close friends of mine for years, and then we just collaborated and worked together doing things. A beautiful, beautiful chemistry, a beautiful, beautiful love and connection between all of us. So you can imagine the space that we're in is very powerful, very unique, and very safe.
Yeah.
And because we know one another, although the first time when I went in, I didn't know anybody. And it doesn't really necessarily, when I say this now and I come into the subject, knowing the people that you go and have ceremony with, you don't have to know the people, because when you go into ceremony, you know them. You don't know what they work, their names, perhaps, how old they are, what's the whatever, how much money they have in the bank. No, it doesn't matter, because when you go into ceremony, you see their true self. You see them from a soul's perspective. So you know them very deeply, but on the surface, you don't know them unless you ask them.
Mm.
So the the ceremonies consecutively, every ceremony from that point was very, very intense, very, very powerful. And from what I understood, when witnessed and I saw other um, ceremonies, every ceremony we sit down and we talk. After a ceremony in the morning, we get up, we have breakfast, and we close a circle to sit down and actually share what the experience was. So it was always a very intense process and experience for all of us. Because I say this because when I was, excuse me, when I was in the ceremony not with my tribe, it was completely different.
Mm.
That strength, that power, that visual, that expansion was not as intense as it was with my tribe. So there's a very important connection to an important aspect to do this with people who you're connected with and you love and you share more than the very fairly intimate. Let's
Yeah, I guess knowing that you are in a room with someone you don't really feel safe, you are immediately put limitation on this kind of experience.
Yes,
Someone will be holding back, because you are
yes,
scared of what they may think, or what you may be actually doing in front of people
yeah,
you don't feel safe with. Yeah.
yeah. Also, the location has to do with things. It has a lot to do with it because energy is energy, and if there is, let's say, you are choosing to have a ceremony in the middle of a busy town,
Mm.
a busy city, I wouldn't recommend it because the energy there is very intense.
Mhm.
And the surroundings, you have more people who are not necessarily aligned with what you're doing. Now, this can affect them in a positive way, but then at the same time, you're coming in for a space where you want the energy to be more subtle, more, intense and aligned with what you're doing. So there's that aspect of that. At the same time, um, the people you're with, um, if you're going into a ceremony that you don't know anyone, there may be uh, as you say, an extended or more intense resistance and fear
Mhm.
or feeling unsafe. But this is where the shaman comes in
Mhm.
to reassure you the way that they're running the ceremony, the way that um, their experience and their value that comes into this to the ceremony. And so um, it's very important, highly important. Yes,
Mhm.
feeling
Yeah.
safe, knowing that you're safe. Mothers, you're safe. Fathers, you're safe. Children, you're safe. Big time.
I like the fact that it is actually being called ceremony because it truly is. This is the type of experience again, which truly blends you into one completely with no. After my experience, I said, Eddie, there is no separation. There is truly no separation. There is no boundaries. Nothing. Everything is one, and and I think to call it a ceremony is such a beautiful word because it truly is a ceremony where you actually are stepping higher thanks to this experience within your spiritual growth, within your own healing, and it's such a profound. um I actually said after my experience that should be done mandatory, right? Obviously not, but I was just so amazed with
Hmm.
things that I experienced during this journey. And when you say that you should surrender this journey, that was exactly what I did, even though I wrote down some intentions for myself.
Hmm.
But the spirit always knows best what you need, knows you best. It knows you better than you may know yourself,
Hmm.
really. And you will always receive exactly what is best for you, not too much, not too little, exactly what is best for you in this moment in time, exactly where you are. And honestly, I mean, I will be, I said to Eddie, I said, Eddie, I will be forever grateful to you for this experience because it has really changed my life. And also, I wanted to say, when Eddie says that the journey continues on after the few hours when you are in it, when you are seeing those, being shown those things and are experiencing these things, it continues. And at first, I did not understand. When you first told me, Dominika, it's gonna be an ongoing process for some time after the ceremony, I did not understand what you mean, but it is up until now. And even just before we started this broadcast, I shared with Eddie something, something really big and profound happened for me a few days ago, when I actually thought that I'm having a panic attack, when I don't really have panic attacks. I had maybe one in my youth. But what happened, I was actually releasing a very old and very painful ancestral trauma. And that was triggered within me while I've been visiting. And I believe it is connected to this ceremony, because I was ready to release it. Apart from that, I'm having completely um, different dreams, like they're more vivid. I remember more. I am actually even more like aware with when I'm dreaming.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Hmm.
The communication channel with your higher self and the spirit realm is much clearer. Um, it's almost like instant. You don't really need to try to connect. You are just in it because you experience this lack of boundaries, lack of separation. Everything is one. So yes, it's a big thing. Big
That's
thing.
huge. Absolutely. When you say you didn't know what to expect, this is one of the um, you cannot explain what it is because it's beyond what the mind would accept and grasp from an
Mhm.
intellectual standpoint or perception. And so it would be best to prepare, to prepare you as much as I can, but at the same time, I mean, I'm giving you the opportunity to swim in the water. You'll have to know how to swim on your own. I'll give
Yeah,
you the guidance on how to use your hands, your legs, and how to behave in the water.
yeah.
But at the same time, and you did wonderful. I'm so proud of you, and it's an honor. The fact that you accepted
Mm.
and transmuted things for yourself, this is a huge blessing.
Do you know what,
For me,
Eddie?
it's all about results. When I see results, I'm like, wow, celebration
The
for me.
result. Yeah, the result. And you know what, Eddie? Honestly, it is as you said, when you are doing that with your tribe, where we can share openly with others that we met physically for the first time just 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
um, I felt safe. You gave me step by step guidance, everything. I was so well prepared and looked after throughout the process and after the process, when I just jumped like a, I don't know, ping pong, and was just sharing with everyone. Do you know what I experienced? Do you know what?
How do you explain this to people? You can't.
Yes, you do. You can't.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the funny thing was that Eddie. I asked Eddie before how quick it's going to start. Working. And
Mm.
Eddie said it might be 20 minutes or so. And I was very serious. And this is a crucial word. I was so serious about this ceremony that I lied like straight, on a bed with covered eyes, so there is no light coming in. And 20 minutes passed, and I was like, "Shit! I probably am the one of the unlucky people that doesn't feel anything." Whenever I tried to smoke, marijuana or something like that, it never worked, and I thought it's not gonna work. But then I don't know when, how it started, but the first thing I've been shown was something that, again, I can't describe, even if English was probably my first language. The shapes and the colors and the type of creation was so mesmerizing. I don't know what it was, but it was twirling and moving, and it was the most beautiful creation I ever seen. So that's the first thing, you can
Hmm.
invite the artist into that kind of journey, because I think
Yeah.
I said wow like million times during the ceremony. I was like, wow. But the dialogue that is happening during the journey is the internal dialogue.
Hmm.
It's like the dialogue with yourself,
Hmm.
but then the oneness, the feeling of oneness that you are the universe, is the dialogue with the God. It's is the
Mhm.
dialogue with the universe. And I remember one of the first things I start seeing other people, people I know and people I don't know. And I just seen myself in every single person. And I say it all the time. We are the universe. You are God. We are God. We're having this human experience, but to experience that, to feel it, like honestly, it just ruined all the limiting beliefs, all the blockages within it. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful, and that was the most profound thing. And another big thing for me was that I've seen my life. I didn't have a form. I was just pure essence. But I've seen my life as a physical, in this physical body from above. And the first tears I shared, although I was expecting I'm gonna cry all night because probably I have so much, things to release. I shared few tears only when I realized how miserable my life I made. Why was I worried and overthinking so many things in my life? And then, right after, I went into probably 4 hours of wild laugh. I was laughing, and I don't know why I was laughing, but I remember just repeating, the spirit knew that I need some fun. and and I've been shown also some crucial aspects about myself where there's still distorted energy. What needs, more work? What should I focus on? Important questions have been answered to me by the source that I was, and this is. I think that the oneness with everything and the purity and clarity of seeing everything as it really is, even though it was within a journey, is something. It's a gift. It's the biggest gift I received in my life, apart from my son, obviously. But to me, as an individual, everyone who is ready and is approaching this with a pure heart, with the pure intention, please find a shaman or a tribe that can lead you through it, look after you during this process, because it's not a shortcut. I wouldn't call it a shortcut, but this is a medicine. And this is our birthright to actually, be gifted by Mother Nature with this medicine. That's my opinion anyway. Make it mandatory.
Yeah, beautiful. We are here to enjoy life, to experience life, to go through the
Yeah.
challenges. We have to go through challenges to make us stronger and
Mhm.
better. The diamond does not become a diamond unless it's under severe pressure. And so we've come to a time and point in our evolution where the reincarnation process has completed a particular cycle.
Yes.
And the Akashic record is now repositioning itself in a different way. And so it's time for us to release the things that no longer serves us.
Uh-huh.
If it's from one lifetime, two lifetimes, 50 lifetimes, or 500 lifetimes ago, man, whatever that may be, each one to its own, to him or her own. Um, and so this peeling of the layers of just like an onion, takes time, takes patience. It's like
Time.
cooking a meal. And many have a huge resistance when they come to a ceremony. And it's all appropriate. It's fine. It's a human process. And you can see a layer upon layer being peeled off over one ceremony. It could be a few layers in another, and it's all beautiful. It's a beautiful journey.
Mhm.
I'll share with you something that happened recently in a ceremony where a beautiful sister of mine started speaking a different language. So she brought in a lifetime, where she was a form of a shaman in her lifetime, and she was very worried about um, her tribe and the current situation in the world. She was a reflection between the tribe and the reflection to the current situation, what's happening right now. And she didn't speak English. She started speaking a different language. So I was sitting there and speaking to her in her own language. Because I was in the medicine too, I was able to pick up on the language and communicate. So we had a conversation. It was beautiful. I consciously knew what I was saying, but I didn't know the words themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought a lot of peace to her and peace to me because we understood one another and there was a conversation. At the end of at the end of the ceremony, we sat down and said, "What do we talk? What did we say?" And we started going back and trying to figure out what we said, and it was beautiful. We understood one another. It was amazing. You would not understand. You know, some people talk the light language. I speak it too. There's so many ways of
Mm-hmm.
doing it. There's not one. There's many of them.
Yeah.
Because language is language. It comes in from source, and source has so many languages, infinite ways of
Yeah.
linguistic
You're,
um,
you are basically
expression,
directly,
basically. What?
yeah, you are plugged into the alpha and omega. There is
Yeah,
no limitation during this
no
process.
limitations.
Mm-mm.
And so there's so many beautiful things that can come out from this, and there can be some challenging things. I want to bring this out because there's some things that a person may go through, and it's going to be scary. It's going to be frightening. Meaning there is traumas that may surface that you have didn't want to, face. Childhood traumas that you've gone through could be very severe ones, and it's a challenging process. And there is an opportunity there to untangle it, to transmute it. So again, we're going back to the awareness and consciousness.
Mhm.
It's your choice. In one flick of a section of a second, you're able to transmute it all, and it's possible. Beautiful stuff.
But I think, even if some may experience like horrific like images, or they experience some trauma that was repressed into subconscious mind, it still wouldn't be given to them by the higher self, if the soul wasn't ready. Anyhow, to transmute it during the process or after the process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be ready. You have to be
Yeah.
ready. But then
But
again, at the same time, if you're abusive to the process, just like any other thing, water is a beautiful is a must for us. But what if you drink too much water? You can damage yourself only
Mhm.
from water. So think about this. Even the most precious substance on the planet, which is water and air and everything, if you take too much of it, you can hurt yourself. So without respect to anything else that you do. So if you
Mhm.
start abusing the plant medicine, then yeah, you can damage yourself, of course. You got to do it again with discernment. Again, we're not doctors. We're not telling you what to do here. So please choose wisely.
Yeah. But you also touch upon a very important topic. I've been actually doing a class on the ancestral line yesterday, and shortly before I traveled, I actually had a vision that was given to me by my spirit guides. And when you said that the Akashic record is recalibrating, and we are clearing actually so much, and the spirit guide showed me that up until maybe, I don't know, 30 years ago, when we've been clearing some trauma, if there were people conscious clearing traumas, healing themselves, it was usually based and focused on your own life, maybe some past lives already. But what we are doing now, we are literally erasing the whole graph of not only your life, your ancestors' life, but
Hmm.
all the past lives that you lived
Yeah,
through, all the timelines and all the dimensions, because there
true.
is such a big, huge shift that you literally becoming a doorway
Hmm.
to clear and release all that has happened and mustn't go any further.
Hmm.
And sure, we can do it consciously, and it's very important to be aware to work through consciously through all those experiences, understand them, understand the dynamics also within the lines, ancestral lines, why certain things been happening and been repeated over and over again. It's all important. The knowledge is important, but in the same time, to have this plant medicine that can support us on this journey in a very responsible way, as you said. But then again, spirit will not give you something if it would be too much, as I said. So it's all balanced. It still needs to be balanced. It's an amazing opportunity to really, really cooperate with Mother Nature and take this gift
Hmm.
from Mother Nature, from the spirit, and allow yourself this beautiful experience. Because
Yes.
that's, I mean, I honestly don't have words. I mean, how big it was for me, because I could go into many more details what was happening for me in this journey. But then again, I don't want to create any suggestions for those who may go and have some expectations. It's a very private experience, very intimate experience of you being with you and being the God and being with your awareness and what's possible and how limitless you are. So yeah. Eddie made this trip so much more interesting.
I love it. I love it. So beautiful.
Mm,
Any transformation, any advancement you make for yourself affects the planet and everybody else around you in an
mm,
instant, immediately. There's no time boundaries. Just like you felt, there's no separation. There is no
mm,
separation. There is none.
mm,
We're an extension of Source, and Source is everything. So we are so many extensions walking one next to one another, thinking we're separate. We're not.
mm. Yeah. I mean, one funny detail that I wanted to share with you, because it may just show you that how much the awareness is shifting, is when at some point I was the essence, of the source, just being in the cosmos somewhere, and I see the planet Earth in front of me, and I
Hmm.
see that I look at this ball, and I look at Scotland, and then I look at
Hmm.
California, and I was like,
Hmm.
so I decided to fly on a plane to California where I could only think and be there. So I decided to create this experience of a flight just to be there, where I could just think and be there. See, because that's what it takes to create the
Hmm.
instant
Hmm.
manifestation, the instant creation.
Hmm.
That was my awareness. I
Hmm.
was at that point, I was just aware that I'm such a powerful creator,
Hmm.
that for me to create something is to think and it manifests. But instead, as a human, as a Dominika, I decided to take a plane. I was like, what was she thinking? Like, did she want to have this long flight? I was like, why is she, complicating the life so much?
Very soon we won't have to use any planes. We'll be able to jump the road. In the Zohar, there's a term. So it means you're able to teleport yourself or move from one
Yeah.
place to another with no boundary of time. And so in the future, as we move higher in our efficiency of our DNA, as we grow closer to 55%, we'll be able to do that. It'll be
Mm.
beautiful.
I know, because I've been having some lessons with Hathor when I'm merging timelines, and I'm with Hathor,
Hmm. Hmm.
and she's teaching me about the bilocation as well,
Yeah,
on a cellular level. So it's not learning anything new. It's just remembering the things we always knew. We just need to start to remember.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Dominika.
Righty. So I don't see any questions. Someone is saying that I really want to have this experience. Indeed, it has been a long time already. The ones, yes. Yeah, if you feel you're ready, you're ready. You need to be very honest with yourself, because this journey is the journey with you and you, no one else. No one else. Yeah.
Very cool. Anybody else's questions?
No, I don't see, but the thing is, I can't see comments from all three places where I'm broadcasting. So if there are any questions, we're gonna attempt them after the broadcast, when I will be able to access all the comments, because right now I can't.
Okie
Uh,
dokie.
but I think we covered most of the information we wanted to share. Number one, safety. Two, thrive. Make sure that you are being advised what's the best medicine for you as well, because Eddie, for example, advised me that for me it would be best to try lighter um, medicine, not ayahuasca that I initially wanted to have. And yeah, everything was just perfectly divinely orchestrated,
Hmm.
and it was beautiful
Yeah, I
experience.
want to point out another thing. At some point, you wouldn't need it. So, for example, you've now experienced a particular way of reaching a particular point in your consciousness and your awareness, and then perhaps you'll have more ceremonies. Perhaps they're going to be deeper, different as you peel the layers.
Mm,
But at some point, you won't need it because your consciousness and your awareness is already knows where to get to. It knows the path. It already plowed those trails and journeyed journeys,
Neurological, yeah.
objectives. Whatever you've done, you can do it on your own. You won't need them.
Yeah, the path is already created, right?
You know where
Remember,
you're going.
remember that your physical body is still only an illusion. It's extension of your awareness in your mind. And during this kind of journey, there is this rewiring process within this awareness. So I believe that, as Eddie said, after several journeys, it will be just very natural for you to connect
Hmm.
with those spaces, with
Yeah.
have access to higher dimensions, just like that. Like with bilocation and everything else, that is our birthright.
Hmm.
We've been just kept in a tiny little box for way too long,
Yeah.
and it's harder to unlearn than learn. So yeah. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Dominika.
I would
Love
keep
it,
you
dear
for
sister.
another hour. We could have a coffee, but I know you're busy.
What's that?
I know you're busy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sweetheart. It's been a pleasure and an honor. It was so huge to meet you finally, and hopefully we'll meet more all together, all of us. So many
Yes.
we're connected to so many beautiful people here, and we'll be happy to like create
Mm,
a place for everybody to join together. And
yeah.
yeah,
I'm gonna think, and I will be there.
yeah,
Think.
it will be. It will happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See you in 5 minutes, Eddie.
All right, sweetheart. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you,
See you.
everybody, for joining. Big love to you all. Eddie
Thank
from
you.
Los Angeles. I'll